Guys, so I took off this end of the wingtip, and I discovered something. All right, so let's turn on battery, and let's turn on the nav lights. Nope. So lights, that bulb does not work. Hello everybody, welcome back to my hangar. Today I'm going to be doing a couple things on my aircraft, which will be, I think this is day 6 of working on my interior. I'm going to be putting on the back panel, putting that back in. I'm also going to be working on a couple little small things. Got some lights I got to replace on the tips of my wings, and yeah, so just a few more things I got to do in this stage, in this step. So without further ado, real fast, right now, if you haven't already, hit the like button down below and subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss any more of these videos in this series about fixing my aircraft's interior. All right, now, without further ado, let's get working. So before I get it installed, one thing I've got to do is go back here and grab a couple loose screws. Lots of sharp pieces as well, so I've got to be very cautious. I have some screws I've got to get. So grab those 2 screws. We'll have to check that out. It's very cramped back here. Let me get back out. You guys ever wondered what a wing spar looks like in Piper? This is what it looks like. This actually is not the wing spar itself. This is what houses the wing spar. Wing spar slides into each side. It gets fixed with bolts. 6 on top, 6 on bottom, if I recall correctly. Whew, I'm already starting to breathe hard. I hadn't even really done much. There we go. Ooh. Ooh. Look at that. Looks good. Now I've got to secure it with all the screws and everything, but it's coming together. It's coming together. I'll say this. One thing that you learn working on aircraft, and probably if you work in cars it's the same way, you learn your body can be in different angles than you imagined. I've been in very interesting arrangements while working on the aircraft, so, but it is what it is. It's part of it. Brand new Curtis valve. Now you have to be very careful with these. If you don't put them on right, you can end up having a fuel leak, which this one already had, so I guess you can't get worse than it was, but make sure it doesn't get up into the tank itself or interfere with the valve mechanism. I just rotate it around my fingers to make sure it sticks and it's good. You don't want it to come off while you're putting it up there. And then make sure you have the right size wrench, exactly 7/16. That's what these are. And then we're gonna thread it up there. Now, you got to remember when you're working on surfaces that are upside down, it's opposite of what you might think. So if you're, if this is flipped like this, it'd be righty-tighty. So flipped like this, it's not right, it's left. So, well, I said it's right, it's left. It's still right, but it's upside down, so it's like you're looking from the top, it'd be left. So basically I'm hand tightening it till I can't turn it anymore. I know it's the right thread, I know everything's good, so I'll take my wrench and I'll gently rotate it. Now it's important when you're putting these on not to over tighten. Every single one of these has a particular length of thread that's supposed to be still visible. This one I believe is 7/16, if I remember correctly. Let's look at the, and I was wrong. It's not 7/16, it is 1/8 of an inch. That's why it's always important to check your information. But if I check right now, yes, we have about, well, it'd be about 7/16 right here, but we are going for 1/8 of an inch. Check again. Still got a little bit to go, about another 1/8 here. Check again. We are right there. So there we go. That should be good enough. And of course we'll test it with some fuel in the tank. So the lights I'm using, they're actually basically the exact same ones that I have on now. I don't want to show any addresses or anything. So what I have on there now is the Grimes traditional light that came with the Piper series aircraft and a lot of other aircraft. These guys right here. So this is what I'll be using, and just replacing it with these. Of course, I'll make sure they work. Even if they don't, I don't even need that. What I need is just this base plate, because my other one, take you over to it. If you look, I don't know if you can see that. The other ones, see, there's a broken screw inside of it and it's super corroded. So Placing that with these guys and hoping it'll work. All right, so you can see the old one pretty rusted up. The new one I got off eBay, nice and clean. So what I'm gonna do is use the base of this one and the painted cover of this one with the lens that I've cleaned. But first I've got to remove this guy because all the wiring's already done. I just gotta change the bulb. That's basically what I'm doing. Take that off. Voila. Now, the first things I'm gonna do, I'm gonna test and see if this LED light works. Because if it works, I'll keep that in there. If it doesn't, then I'll need to replace it. I'm hoping the LED light works, because the LED light works, it's going to definitely decrease the amp requirements, electrical requirements, at the same time give me a brighter light and not having it hot, so if I accidentally touch it, I won't burn myself. All right, so let's turn on battery and let's turn on the nav lights. Nope. So lights, that bulb does not work. Oh, you know what? It wasn't grounded. Oh, it wasn't grounded. It's got to be grounded, Micah, Mr. Computer Guy. You know the difference between DC and AC? Of course I do. How could I have forgotten? All right, so it's nice and grounded now. Let's try it again. Hey, there we go. How about that? That's what I'm talking about. That, what I'm talking about right there. And it's already green. Makes me wonder if I should get a clear bulb to make it even brighter. Yeah, I'll probably do that later on. All right, let's get the it all wired up on the actual. I'll lose my screwdriver. See, this is the end. That's actually where it goes. So I've got to get the ground piece on the other side, and then the whatever we're going to call it, base or whatever on that side. So let's get to working on that, shall we? Perfect. Awesome. Now, this back a little bit, and we'll put just a couple of them in to hold it up here. One thing that you always want to do whenever you're manipulating a large piece with a lot of screws on it is you want to get, first off, you don't tighten them all the way down. That's like number one, don't tighten them all the way down. Then the other is you want to put a few on around the actual object. Not just start, you don't start from one way and go around, because then you'll end up not even. So now you may be thinking, Micah, well, to do that, couldn't you end up pinching the wrong spot or something like that? Well, that's why you don't tighten them all the way down. you tighten them down only to hold it, and then you can maneuver as you need to. Basically the same thing. I gotta get all these screws on, and because this LED works, I'm gonna test the other one. The other one works too. I'll go ahead and replace the other one too, because I'd rather have LEDs than traditional. So anyway, gotta keep working, get the stuff done. And when I tried to take off the other one, it also broke in the hole. So that means this entire thing, wing tip, has to come off, so I can remove that one piece and replace it. Yay, more work, guys. So I took off this end of the wing tip, and I discovered something. Yes, that is what you think it is. That's a wasp nest. Now, thankfully, it's long dead, so no wasps are in it or anything, but there's also dirt daubers that are built in here too. Don't let your aircraft sit out in the open, guys. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. You guys ready to see the back panel? Well, let's look at it. I mean, so much cleaner. So much nicer. Whew. It's been a long day. I've got both the wing lights fixed and installed. I've got the back panel in. Still got the fikers put on it. There's one that goes right in the middle. I'm talking about utility category versus regular category or normal category. And still a lot left to do, but for today, that's going to do it for today. And we'll come back up here. Not sure exactly. We've got several more things we've got to do. Some things we've got to paint. Some things we've got to strip paint off of. Okay, I want to replace the insulation. See what I mean? So this is the insulation that's currently in there, and you can imagine how nasty this stuff is. I mean, it's like falling apart in my hand. So I'm pretty sure, I don't know if this is original, but it's at least 20 years old. And some of it's getting kind of gross, whether moisture got in here or something, I don't know. But for breathing air quality, as well as safety with fire and sound and air temperature, and be replacing all of that. So yeah, that's just more things we're gonna do. Anyway, on to the next day.